How can I serve you today? Now, these few words, how can I serve you? Such incredible words. These few words will help you create a deeper connection with your clients in the coaching process. And this is why I often say this, right? Trust building, it's a quintessential element in the conversation flow. Too often, many coaches focus on their various skill sets, their various competencies, their various techniques and strategies and frameworks and so on. But one of the most important things that I find many coaches hardly spend time in is in building trust. It's in understanding trust. It's in understanding how do I build a greater sense of trust with my clients. How can I serve you today? It's one of the most beautiful sentence, one of the most simpler sentence, but yet it contains such tremendous wealth of information there and also such a deep level of wisdom. Now, it's not just about just me saying that, how can I serve you today? I remember one time there was a particular coach that came to me and said, Jedi, every session I just start off by telling my clients, how can I serve you? How can I serve you? How can I serve you? Now, I told this coach one thing. I said, do not make coaching like a fast food chain. Do not make your coaching conversation sound like a fast food chain. What do I mean by that? Now, in a fast food restaurant, the words are repeated. What would you like to order today? Think about McDonald's, right? You enter in McDonald's, it's the same thing. It's consistency. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. But you see, the magic of coaching conversations is not that the conversations are always predictive. If the conversations become predictive, if the client can sense, hey, you're going to ask me this question, you're going to ask me that question, guess what? The magic of the conversation is broken. Your clients begin to, question, is this really a real conversation? Is that a real conversation? Is this really where we're going forward? Is that where I'm going forward? No wonder oftentimes coaching becomes so predictive. When coaching becomes predictive, it loses its co-creative sense. Co-creation is in the process of coming together with the client, partnering with the client through this whole process of evoking of awareness to inspire change and maximize potential. And it begins first in building that sense of trust. Trust is both a tangible attribute and an intangible attribute. Trust is also both in a sense that you can qualify trust and you can quantify trust. But beyond all the measures of trust, what's most important is when you ask anyone on planet Earth today, do I trust you? Right? You can get a variety of responses. Try this out with your friends and your peers and your loved ones. Ask them, how much do you trust me? And ask yourself as an individual, how much do you trust yourself? Now, sometimes when we question ourselves like this, we begin to ask ourselves, hey, you know what? What's really happening inside of me? Why do I feel this way? Now, this is one very, very simple step forward to really help guide you. Well, I'm going to teach you this area to try to use this words in a way, not just using words. Words without intention, words without energy, words without emotions are just words. There's no impact. When you want to create connection with a client, when you want to serve your client to the best of your abilities, do not just say, how can I serve you? I want you to use in a more creative manner. Look at the client, observe them, calibrate to them, observe what's happening for them. Are they in a happy state? Are they in a down state? Are they in a ambivalent state? What state are they in today? And then when you ask the question, how can I serve you? I want you to think about many different ways to say the same thing, but in different words. You do not need to use the same words all the time. I want you to think about even the energy level. And I also want you to record a few different versions for yourself and watch yourself in those videos. You see, if I tell you, how can I serve you? How can I serve you? Right? I can come across as being ingenuine, being unauthentic. Why? Because I've heard so many times, when coaches or maybe intervention psychologists, therapies as well, when they start off their conversation like this or they end the conversation like this, how can I serve you better? How can I serve you? It almost feels as if it's kind of like a memorized statement. As clients, we don't want a coach who memorizes a set of statements and just pay lip service. We don't want just a coach to, at the end of the session, just use a pre-fixed closing sentence to just say, how can I serve you better? We want a coach who's there with us, who's present with us, who's authentic, who's real, who's genuine, who's creating with us in the moment. Not a coach who memorized their script, but a coach who's there in the moment. So when using how can I serve you, both at the start and the end, think about how your energy is coming across and how do you become real with those conversations. It's not just about, just saying those words, but it's being real in a conversation. Try this out. Pre-conversation, before the start of conversation, how can I serve you in this conversation? How would you like me to serve you today? Okay. At the end, think about how you want to close. How can I serve you better? Now, sometimes I may change the word serve because service or servitude sometimes in different cultures create a different connection or different idea or different meaning. Sometimes I might just say this, how can I help you today? How can I care for you more? How would you like me to care for you today? How would you like me to help you? How would you like us to begin this conversation today? All these different ways of saying refers to the same thing, which is the sense of how can I help you? How can I serve you? You don't have to use the word. You see, words mean different things to different people, different cultures, different generations. And it's important for us as coaches not to be limited by words, but sometimes just the very expression, hey, how can I serve you today? How can I help you? Right? So how can I help you? Notice my gestures as well. And sometimes some coaches may do something like this. They say, hey, I'm so glad to meet you again in this session. What would you like to explore today? Right? Or how would you like to navigate today's session? How would you like to approach today's session? All those are the openers for the session. Very great openers. At the end, think about how you want to close as well, right? Think about, hey, how could I make this experience an unforgettable one for you? How would you like me to check in with you in the next session? Right? If there's one thing that could enhance your experience for this conversation, what would that be? All these are very important elements for you to consider in building that sense and cultivating that sense of trust. Trust is built through the whole conversation flow from session to session, from session to session. And it's important for you to realize that it's not in a phrase, it's not in the word, but it's in the combination of who you are as an individual, how you express your energy level, the way you create, the way you cultivate, and the way you maintain that through the whole process. Those are very important elements. So hope this video really helps you, to inspire you. And when you're ready, I'll see you in one of our programs really soon.